Hello, scholars, and welcome to Week 3 of CJS485 Methods of Research in Criminal Justice. I hope we all had a successful Week 2, and now we're going to transition into Week 3. The topic that we're going to be discussing this week is our literature review, and our focus is going to be acquiring a number of resources that we can use to identify or to complete our literature review. And the essence of a literature review is to provide the reader the background information necessary for them to have an understanding of your research. There is a assumption that your reader has a beginner's level of understanding on your topic. That's why they would be reading your paper to begin with. But the literature review gives them the background, the numbers, the statistics, the information necessary for them to understand your research topic, provide them with the information to understand your research question, and give them the knowledge to then understand your methodology and ultimately your findings and your conclusion. So let's jump through here. As you can see in Week 3 of our learning activities, we're going to review the lecture materials. There's a few videos that are available for you, and our deliverable this week is our literature review. As you can see, our assignment due date is going to be Week 3 on Day 7, the same as we have for all of our coursework in this. And Day 7 is Sunday by midnight. You can review the module objectives. The module objectives are what we expect you to have an understanding of at the conclusion of this week. I provided with you, or this week, a literature review PowerPoint that will give you a good understanding of the literature review and what a literature review means. There are also 2 videos. Your first video explains a literature review, and then there's another quick video that you can go through that kind of breaks down exactly what we need and what a literature review is and what it isn't. So let's dive now into what we need to provide this week. So this week, our literature review is going to be 5 to 8 pages. That does not include a cover page or the bibliography. Needs to be in APA formatting, so we're going to be in Times New Roman 12-point font with standard margins. A literature review is typically chapter 2 of a research, an academic research paper, a dissertation, to be exact. The literature review helps the reader understand what is known about the topic as well as assists in establishing a gap within the data that is appropriate for further academic research. We're going to be producing a shorter version. Oftentimes in an academic paper, a dissertation, this might be 20, 30, 40 pages long. But for us, 5 to 8 pages. What we need to include in our literature review first is to provide a brief description of the proposed research topic and the specific areas of interest investigated through the literature review process, and then to describe the current understanding of the proposed areas of research based on a minimum of 3 sources that may include peer-reviewed academic journals, articles, or academic books. For this assignment, websites, magazines, newspaper articles, opinion pieces, etc. are not acceptable. Much of what we dove into Week 2 with our CBU academic library will be a great source. Google Scholar is another great source where you can find academic reviewed articles. Be sure to include an appropriate in-text citation or reference of the author and the year of publication for any type of piece of information that we're citing. Remember, a literature review is not your opinion. It is based upon academic literature. So we're going to need to reference all of it and cite all of those pieces of information accurately. And analyze the type and quality of research conducted by the authors in your literature review, whether it's quantitative research with an appropriate sample size. I would like you to also include a Christian perspective and ethics and a conclusion statement. And then you're going to have a bibliography where you're going to list all the cited work. Now, where we're at right now, I am going to jump forward to Week 8 for our critical assignment. In Week 8 of our critical assignment, our second chapter is going to be the literature review. So remember how I described earlier in this course that there are building blocks. Each week we're going to create a block, And at the end, or the conclusion of this, in week 8, we're going to take all those blocks that we have already wrote, and we're going to combine them together for our research paper. Now, for week 8, or in week 8, the literature review, it's going to just describe the current understanding of the proposed area of research based with a minimum of 5 sources. So I would recommend that you include 5 sources so that you meet the critical assignment resources requirements uh, in our week 3 assignment. So in essence, once you complete your literature review here in week 3, you can just copy and paste this into your week 8 assignment. So let me go back to our week 3 assignment and go to our literature review submission. You see the grading criteria. The first is that we're going to look at the content analysis. So that's the key of this assignment, is that the content of it is that we're meeting the requirements, that we're giving a good description of the literature review. You're providing the reader with the necessary information for them to get a good understanding. Spelling and grammar is going to be 35% of it, and formatting, and then I want 15% of it is that Christian perspective. I have included an example of a lit review where if you kind of go into the introduction part and if you read through, you can see good appropriate citations. They go into a second portion where they're talking about job satisfaction, organizational commitment, job stress, and then it goes into the current study. So hopefully that will give you a little insight in what we're looking for. So to give you an example, if we are going to use body cams, I know that is a common topic that I've heard. In a literature review, you might give a background of how long body cams have been in existence. What is the technology that's associated with body cams? What is some legal legislation that's associated with body cams? Give some examples when body cams were used and how they were used. All of those are just some examples of how you're providing the reader with the necessary information on the background of your topic, so that they're armed with the appropriate knowledge to then review your work and have a good understanding of what you're talking about. So like I said again, by the end of the week on Sunday by midnight, 5 to 8 pages, that is going to not include a cover sheet and not your bibliography at the end with all of your accurate references. We need to have good citations throughout. This is a highly APA formatted assignment, so I want to see good APA formatting, excellent references and citations, and I recommend that you use at least 5 scholarly sources. That will prepare you for your critical assignment at the end. So I hope that gives you a good understanding of what this week's work is all about. As I've spoke before, if I'm not hearing from you, I have the understanding that things are going well. So if you have any questions, concerns, or anything that you need clarification on, please reach out to me. Email me and we'll be able to work through any of the problems that you might be having. So there we have it. I look forward to reading all of your literature reviews this week. If you have any questions, reach out. So bye for now.